to my playthrough of the Kerbal Space Program. This time I'm going to be making a plane. So without further ado, yeah, I'm just gonna jump into this. So, start with the cockpit, add a couple fuselages. This is not going to be the most complicated plane, but we're going to build off of it in the next couple of episodes. So yeah, 3 fuselages and a delta wing, I believe. Yep. Gotta add that symmetry so that it's completely symmetrical. Planes that aren't symmetrical are most likely going to crash and burn. So gotta line these wing connectors up so that you can have a bigger wing. This will add for capabilities for more engines, say on the bottom of the wings, and furthermore, more wings, so there's more service adjusters, so there's more control over them. That little back cutout there, I'm going to add an engine to, a jet engine, one of the big ones, so it can get some power. There you go. Yeah, now I'm going to do what I was saying I was going to do, and I'm going to add two fuselages with fuel in them, and then put just basic jet engines on those. I might change these to aerospikes later, but for now we're going to keep it simple. So, yeah, add 2 wheels there, add a couple wheels on the front, like spread out so it's landable, and a couple wheels on the back, just to keep symmetry. Should be ready. Just need to add some batteries and a parachute so that we don't crash and burn and kill our own people. Or correction, Kerbals. Now I'm adding a ladder so that if we actually can land this thing, we can get our Kerbal to be able to walk around the planet and get back up to his aircraft and possibly bring himself home. And we're going to call this Don't Call Me Serious after the episode. And if you get that joke, don't sue me for trademark infringement, because just don't. Anyway, we're going to start here, and so far all is well. Got a stage separate. Okay, I actually edited this so that I could have some intakes on this. You need intakes so that you're able to attract air, and I also added surface monitors or surface controls so that you can have SAS on. I also added SAS and RCS for more control over my plane. And we have achieved liftoff, which is, believe me, with this plane not very easy, because my surface adapters aren't very good, or whatever you call those things that are on the back that are flapping. Yeah, they're not well placed, so I'm gonna edit that up next couple of episodes. But you need them to fly. They're really useful. Canards are also useful, but I did not use canards this episode. And we're back now. I cut to a further point in the episode. So, yeah, now we're just flying. My intakes are starting to lose air from the altitude, so we're going to keep flying, but we're going to start arcing ourselves down a little bit so we can gain less altitude, so we can have possibly more intake air, which you need so that your engines do not flame out. I'm going to start to raise the gears here so that we can get less resistance, because I believe that I think that our gears are actually leading to less resistance, leading to more resistance in the flight. Making sure to keep accuracy with SAS on. SAS is very useful, especially for planes. Yeah, so I'm gonna go a little IVA and show the Kerbals here. So some suggestions for planes. 1. You don't need a lot of fuselage, and the lighter the better. jet engines are usually a lot less fuel consumptious. I don't know if that's a word. Than say rockets. This is because, well, for one, they use air to help siphon the siphon the gas, so you've got less fuel being used in the active process. So, first suggestion for me for using planes: less fuel needed. So, the smaller the better. Step 2: more than one engine, because only one engine will carry you, but you won't be able to get as far. See, I've actually gotten quite far, for me at least, because I usually only have one engine on my plane, and I cannot usually get to this island. I usually crash in the middle of the ocean. I'm going to get to this island, as you'll see in a few minutes. So, step 3 for suggestions is use SAS. As I've been telling you before, SAS is very useful for accuracy and charting your course without having to constantly be pressing your WASD keys. 5. Use intakes. This is basically a no-go. If you don't use intakes, you're not going to be able to fly. And you want to fly jets. You don't want them to just sit in your airfield and look pretty. 6 is use tail fins, because without tail fins, you're not going to be able to have corrections with barrel rolls and other such things, such as any form of turning, really. My tailwing was not a very good suggestion, a very good example of this, because I used 2, and they were they weren't very helpful. I mean, they just kind of made me, as you can see, flop a lot whenever I tried to turn, but they're better than none. 7 is get your landing gear right. My landing gear is really messed up, so as you'll see, I'm not going to have a very easy landing. If you get the landing gear right, you should be able to land the plane very easily and not have any deaths. I believe it's 7 now, but I'm just going to skip to 8. So 8 is use the smallest cockpit you can, because there's no reason to have more than one curve in there. It's not like space where you can have a constant space station with don't feel lonely. Planes might actually be home, so use only one because it's much more efficient. And 10 is use the basic jet engines only as little as you can. If that was poorly worded, I apologize. The basic jet engines are really weak and unable to fly without very little plane to be supported by them. The heavy jet engines, as you can see, are basically what is pushing my plane. And now we should be getting back to the land for a long time. Yeah, this is a really hard course to land on because it's obviously not very even. As you can see, my Kerbin's freaking out, probably from a little motion sickness from how bad the guys are. Anyway, we're going to see the final test. Are we going to be able to land? Well, that's not going to be... You don't want to land on your wing. That's not usually a good rule of thumb. Okay, and no. So, as you can see, I failed at my first attempt. Don't call me serious. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, and comment. Thank you.